Many homes have been reduced to rubble, nothing more than foundations, twisted metal, and some burned cars. But other homes like this one just 5 feet away, somehow still standing. I'm gonna have my photographer Al zoom in a little bit to that accident. There's a truck passing through right now, but it looks like they're pulling up the red truck. We've already seen some ash fall from the sky. I'm joined now by Cooney County Fire Chief Christopher Way. Chief Way, tell us a little bit about what evacuations look like right now. Video shows the suspect's car arriving here on Queen Road, close to the victim's residence. And later in the report, we learned that the car exited and came into this area 4 times. The freezing rain made an impact across the entire inland Northwest, especially here in Hayden, where people woke up this morning to find their driveways turned into a sheet of ice. The incident happened more than a week ago, but police tape is still up, and this is where investigators say a man got thrown through the fence and into a tree after being hit by his own truck. We're live inside the corn maze at Beck's Harvest House. Where do I go, left or right? There's a dead end there. We'll see if I make it out after the break. A new development could be on its way to Spokane Valley. This empty 4-acre lot just north of the Valley Mall may soon be the home of a future Dave & Buster's. It's gonna be open Friday through Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. But right now, I'm gonna try to get this through the garbage goat. I told our producer Josue that I would actually take a bite before I left, so here I go. Oh, pretty good. Coming down the slide, live in Spokane Valley, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News. This is Milo, and just like any dog, he likes to obey orders, play with people, and sometimes even make a little mess. But this dog just saved someone's life.
Well, let's be careful. Look.
Last Tuesday started out routine for Chris Totter and his wife Stephanie.
Oh, I was perfectly fine. I went to a testing center, passed my real estate broker's exam.
Chris opened the door to let his dogs play outside.
Good boy, Milo.
Less than an hour later, Stephanie was at work and her neighbor texted an audio message of Milo barking. That bark was alerting people that something was wrong.
But I could kind of hear the distress in Milo's. It scared me.
Stephanie tried to get a hold of Chris.
Like I said, I called him 6 times and just nothing. And so I kind of got, that eerie feeling. And
she rushed home.
Milo, like I said, circled my car, led me right up here to the bed. Chris was here laying on the bed. If I hadn't gotten here by the time that I did, it would have been probably 4 more hours that Chris would have been unconscious.
Chris has diabetes. He says doctors think he collapsed because of high blood sugar. He was in the hospital for almost 2 days.
Want to shake on it? He sat down on the bed, and the next thing I knew, I woke up at 1 a.m. on Thursday morning with a room full of strangers.
If their dog didn't alert their neighbor, Chris says he might not even be alive right now.
Oh, extremely grateful. I know I'm here because Milo did what he did. Love him even more.
He's a good boy.
And just a week later, he is already feeling much better. Stephanie and Chris say they'll forever be grateful for what Milo did, and I'm told that Milo's getting some extra special treats. In Spokane, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News. Well, Tom and Mark, Jules Helping Hands claims they took a team building trip to Vegas before receiving ARPA funds. The trip was between August 18th and the 21st. Those federal dollars were approved by the Spokane City Council in July, but Jules didn't have access to those funds until a month later. Robin Ball is raising questions. She runs a blog about local issues in Spokane and is a former owner of Sharpshooting in Spokane.
The community has the right to know where the money is being spent.
She wants to know how the nonprofit afforded a trip to Vegas less than a month after receiving ARPA funds from the city of Spokane.
The $12,500 at the end of July and then the trip in August, the timing of that calls into question what money are they using.
Ball is concerned the group's team building trip was intended for a social purpose instead of a professional one. When asked if she had proof that the organization used ARPA funds,
I don't have that. That's why I'd like them to show us. I mean, they're the ones, I'm not the one getting the ARPA money. I'd like to know how that's being spent.
So I asked Julie Garcia, the executive director for Jules Helping Hands, how the trip was funded. She says Jules Helping Hands received ARPA funds from the city of Spokane August 30th, which is 8 days after they returned from their Vegas trip.
It just so happened that we got a grant somewhere in between there that we didn't actually even have during the time.
She provided KREM 2 with a screenshot that she claims shows a deposit received after their trip.
They were not posted on our Jules Helping Hands account because this wasn't a Jules Helping Hands funded trip.
We can also confirm that Garcia and her team took the trip to Vegas before August 30th from these Facebook posts. They all date back to August 19th. Julie, you're saying your organization didn't use federal funding for its recent team building trip to Las Vegas. If that's the case, where did the funding come from?
I paid for that trip. Where I spend my money and my personal finances have absolutely nothing to do with the city of Spokane.
Garcia says $1,368 was taken from Jules' administrative budget to pay for one staff member to join the trip. I asked Julie Garcia if she could provide additional proof beyond just Facebook photos that her trip was purchased before ARPA funds came in, but she declined, saying her personal expenses are not public information. In the studio, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News. This mariachi band behind me is only one of a few in the region. They've been in existence at Eastern Washington University for 10 years. Eastern Washington University.
I love hearing you play. You're going to do great.
A public school campus with a secret.
All right, are you ready? So let's try Tomatistas.
Walk inside, and the closer you get, the clearer the melody.
Te llevo de la mano, corazón.
Let's hear you telling the story of the song, really feeling the passion of it.
That's Dr. Sheila Woodward.
I understand the importance of being able to bring your culture and celebrate that.
She's the founder of the school's mariachi band.
We wanted our Hispanic and Latinx students to feel that they belong, that they have a place here at Eastern.
A secret being revealed in more than 25 yearly performances. Students like Catherine Ayerdes,
Y ahí nos vamos.
I'm just getting out of my comfort zone, and I just love it. I fell in love with it.
already she's plucking away at the hearts of her heritage.
I'm not Mexican, I'm Nicaraguan, but they accepted me, they adopted me as in the group of the mariachi.
Like others in the band, she wears the logo on her back proudly.
No matter where you're from, no matter what language you speak, music is just a universal language.
Music that dates back to the late 1700s.
It's very symbolic Mexican traditional music from the state of Jalisco.
Martin Garcia, professor of Chicano studies at Eastern Washington University, isn't surprised by mariachi's rise.
Music is very powerful. Music moves people.
When Garcia started teaching at EWU 16 years ago, 3% of students were Hispanic. Now, nearly 20%.
This was, again, a home away from home. Hence, students gravitated towards the center.
Other band members, like Jonathan Arguello, have been in the band since stepping on campus.
I would say that did have a big influence on me coming to Eastern.
Playing keeps him connected with his culture.
It shows a lot of the heritage. It gives people chances to connect with the music, even if they're just singing along with it.
EWU's mariachi band impacts more than its members.
Express, show your joy as you sing. And we've seen more and more Hispanic students, and that's our goal, to keep increasing that percentage of students.
Did you expect to be here 10 years ago?
I didn't, and I'm very thrilled that we've managed to keep the momentum going.
So, on EWU's campus, come a little closer, and you might just hear the melody of mariachi.
Si nos dejan.
Bravo.
The mariachi band already has a couple performances lined up for Hispanic Heritage Month. They'll be performing at a Day of the Dead celebration in October. In Chini, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.